Butt.
And I'm Brian Hurd.
Welcome to Invest Comics.
And you're watching FFFIC.
Hi, I'm Shaun from Famous Faces.
I'm Sebastian from InvestComics.com.
And I'm Jared from Famous Faces.
And I've sent you.
He's back!
I've returned from my journey into Mordor.
He'll be back for 2 weeks, and then he's gone again.
He's missing a finger, but we replaced it
I
with a
got
legionary.
We have 41 books this week.
41 books this week on this episode of FFFIC.
Oh, there's a lot. This is going to be fun.
It's a big week.
Fun!
First one, it's the Marvel Encyclopedia for Vampires. Here's the best reason.
We're not actually reviewing it.
No, me and Jared are Marvel characters
Yes!
now.
We're vampires.
Jeff Christensen, the guy who writes the book, comes in here and shops and buys his comics. So he called Rick and asked how to spell our names and made us characters. I was killed by someone. I was a group member of Nosferatu. Who were you?
I was the psychic vampire that was killed by Blade.
I don't know who I was killed by. I was captured by Charles Bambus, but was destroyed by Elsa Blundstone and allies.
Barnabas?
Whatever I died.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks like an M.
He was the vampire that couldn't read.
Look like an M.
In Vampires versus Illiteracy.
It's an R next to an N.
Looks like an M. Anyways, we're Marvel characters and we're dead. So, first book.
First we were undead.
First book. You do this one. That's yours.
Was this the book of the week, or are we fighting?
Yeah,
over
we'll
the
go for book of the week.
Or did we had dueling books of the week? We had our Silver Age Blast books of the week. Apparently, Aquaman and the Flash.
It was really a 2-1, so.
It's true. You got outvoted because he came back.
Aquaman.
Aquaman's book of the week in your face.
It was really good.
It was awesome.
It wasn't
Much better than the last
In your
issue,
face,
which
folks.
was good but too short.
This was good. So good. Aquaman getting both, still getting that, but you're just Aquaman disrespect that he was getting in the first one. But there are people in there going, no, there's some people in the Aquaman corner, and then he kicks ass in front of the whole damn
Aquaman's a
town.
badass.
Yeah,
The art's great in it,
any
too.
guy bold enough to wear orange and
Scales.
It's scale armor.
scale armor and carry a trident. There's a reason he's got that, and so he can just fork with anybody. So good. Read Aquaman.
Badass. Flash number 2.
I'm thinking really fast.
Yeah, it pretty much is like, hey, you need to think as fast as you run, and then you will be like the maximum with the Speed Force. And it taps into it, and it's awesome. And Francis Manipul's art, it doesn't get any better.
Apparently,
His art's the best thing about that book.
the book, it just looks good. But the story is also, I was liking it more than I expected to. And apparently, if you get super speed, and you learn how to think at super speed, you now get the superpower to ignore women who talk to you. Because that's what he does with it throughout the issue.
God,
Patty, I'm not listening to you. I'm staring at the world. Yeah. Iris, I'm not listening to you. I saved apples.
Him and Iris need to get back together.
Wally
needs to come in here.
First he saved them, then he wrecked them, then apples are really, apples are very important to the Flash.
Also a question.
Yeah.
I like Jonah Hex a lot. I was starting to question the ongoing story arc method instead of the one-shot formula that they followed before, but I really like what they introduced in here. They're bringing in the Crime Bible and some older DC stuff. They're shooing it in, but I love all that Crime Bible stuff and the Gotham history.
There's a sentence for you.
Crime
It's
Bible.
awesome.
Crime Bible. Gotta love it.
Wolverine and the X-Men number 1. I was surprised with it. After my 3-minute long rant on how bad Marvel is, Jason Aaron comes back and pulls something like this. The art wasn't the best thing. The story was really, really good. The best part, what was his name?
Dupe.
Dupe is the
Return of
student.
Dupe.
The student. What was he? Student advisor.
He's the information desk.
Doesn't he not talk
The student
registration.
Student registration.
Dupe's awesome. And Toad as a
talks and
janitor.
symbols.
This book's awesome. This is how X-Men should be. It's entertaining. It's a little confusing at the end, but
I don't know if the world needed a kid gladiator. I like a geeky mutant. What the hell are those things? Brood. Thank you. Or as the other guys are called him, what do they call you, a sleazoid? He comes with his own insult nickname from Mutant Bullies.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It's just Wolverine and Kitty showing a tour to like who's going to decide if they should become a school or not. Everything goes wrong, and it's awesome. It is that's probably the only time I'll say X-Men is awesome. I'm looking forward to number 2. This one, don't care. Oh God. Yeah. What? Here's my question: where did Jason Aaron go from X-Men to Hulk? Why is this? It's not.
I kind of like what he did in the beginning. I kind of like the Hulk in the underground, you know, bearded Hulk. Although it's kind of, I mean,
hulking out with Moles is kind of cool.
You know, I don't like Hulk enough.
Between when Doctor Strange banished him to the crossroads and when they later everybody got together and banished him to another planet. I mean, we've seen the whole Hulk in exile with weird monsters, but this just a segue into. I don't think I like the idea of Bruce Banner as a
separate
crazy. No, the separate thing I'm fine with. Bruce Banner as a crazy, you know, like it's apparently the Hulk was actually always the good one. Banner.
Yeah.
And the fact that really he's making Gamma monsters. Did the first movie not teach us when we introduced the Gamma dogs and the Hulk fought Gamma Poodle that Gamma animals are really not the way to go?
Maybe Jason Aaron's a fan of Gamma animals. You don't know. I'm just saying, I'm trying to defend him. He wrote a good book. Not so good. Good, not so good.
Moving on to Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Oh my God! There you go. That's all you need. It's Walking Dead. Just buy it.
Buy it.
It reviews itself.
Watch it.
Watch it. Yeah.
If you live in
stop watching Mad Men. Watch good TV.
If you live in the Brevard County, Florida area, and you watch this,
come to Cinema World.
Come to Cinema World and watch it. I know. Last week we were talking about that a little bit, and he was telling people, "Sorry, you got turned away." And I later realized that most of you on the internet don't live near here, so you probably didn't get turned away.
New Zealand.
Because
cool.
yeah, you know, if you're watching us in India, you probably didn't come to Cinema World.
If you did, awesome.
But talk to your movie theater and see if they can do the same thing to make the money on the snacks.
Infinite Horizon is the return of a book that started, I think, about 3 years ago, and it's finally finishing up. It's
been
issue
on the
5.
horizon for an infinite amount of time.
It has been. It's a slightly futuristic retelling of the Odyssey. It's a stranded soldier he got stuck in the Middle East, and he's trying to make his way back home to America, which has kind of been split by Civil War. And it's a awesome story. Thank God they're finally finishing it, because it was...
Is that number 5?
Yeah, this is number 5. Number 6 comes out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, for people who are waiting for it, number 6 is coming out. They actually released preview pages for it, so it actually will be out.
And art's by Phil Noto. Awesome stuff.
That explains why it's not Diamond.
Yeah, basically. The first 4 issues are available through Diamond as reorder, so if you're interested in it at all, get your local comic shop to reorder the first 4 and give it a shot. It's a really, really cool book.
Speaking of really, really cool books, Sixth Gun.
Always awesome.
How many guns are there?
No, not that part. Say the part that what do I say about this?
It's 6 gun.
You failed me.
I don't know what your part is.
You need to be reading this.
this.
It's so good. Right? Last 2, you did it for me. Now you fail me when I expect you to do it.
Guess how many guns there are? 5. Oh.
7. Turns out no one could count back then.
It's a trick.
That's the twist. No, there's 6. Well, and
dowsing rod.
I don't know. All right, so this one you get a little more into the sad origin of Gord. Becky, who is the wielder of the 6th gun, is still trying to find Drake. Nobody's gonna let her in right now. She's with a holy order that's been assigned to getting rid of the gun, or to not even getting rid of the gun, to keeping the guns from ending the world. Basically, they realize they're not gonna get rid of the gun, and they're keeping her a little too much under wraps, and that'll probably come to a head. But oh my God, some of the stuff that happens in this issue. If you haven't read this yet, you're an idiot. But I will forgive you if you run out, buy the trades, read this, catch up. It's good.
You guys review Fear itself. I'm done with it.
We've banished the beast. All right. All right. I got the New Mutants and the Avengers Academy.
Here's the 6 gun tree.
And there's the 6 gun tree. What do you got?
And Mighty Thor and Journey into Mystery. Which, these 2 are great. I enjoyed the hell out of these. Mighty Thor, a little bit too late jumping into the Fear Itself tie-ins. It kind of explains Odin and the Serpent's backstory of when they were kids.
Oh, that's where you find that out.
That sounds like a great college band. We are Odin and the Serpents.
It really cool story.
Rock and roll.
It did not come out early enough. This should have come out around the beginning or middle of Fear Itself. So, dropped the ball a little, Marvel, but good story overall. Journey to Mystery is Volstag's. Fear Itself is done. He's going home to his wife and children, and he tells them his version of what happened in Fear Itself. And of course, Volstagg embellishes and makes himself the hero of the story. But they actually give a really good reason for why he does that, and it's a humorous take on all the events in it, and kind of heartwarming.
It's Volstagg. Volstagg rules.
Yeah, Volstagg's awesome.
All right, New Mutants.
The art in that is
those are like
terrible.
little tiny bugs that can't talk. Yeah, I'm not feeling the art.
Is that the book you were showing me earlier? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the awfulness.
I honestly couldn't get past the art to read it. I tried. And it's not even consistently bad art. It's like one bad style of art and then another bad style of art on top of it.
He shifts. I mean, he draws a decent Bobby on like the first couple of pages.
Why is there an ad for ham?
It's Captain America ham.
And it's also advertising that the movie comes out July 22nd, so get out to see your local theaters to check it out.
This movie was great, but the whole part where Cap was on stage, he was putting on a little ham, so it ties in. That's the Cap ham.
There's ham.
But yeah, the art is inconsistent. The story is good. It's one of those, it happens a lot in comics. If you get a really good story, they often get paired with less than really good art, and you're kind of torn. It didn't stop me from reading it, like it stopped Jared, but it did slow me down.
How many issues was that? Two or three?
The next issue is Schism.
Yeah.
They've been busy.
And the next issue, it says next Schism, but here's the Schism cover. Alright, Moving Day. The cover doesn't promise me that the art's getting much better. But, story good, art not so much. Read it or don't.
Schism's over.
And Avengers Academy. Hooray, we love this book.
So good. So good.
Yay, Christus Gage.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew, they said, many cast members will be leaving. And I was like, well, that's going to mean Speedball. Why would it mean Speedball? Because Speedball's my favorite. And Speedball is part of why I followed this on. I followed this for Speedball and Christos Gate. And he just did such a good job with Speedball over in the Fear Itself home front that, of course, now Speedball comes to an end. But I have hope. I have hope, Marvel, because at the end, he leaves with...
Justice?
Yeah. I wasn't going to ruin it for the internet. Thank you. But I was going to say...
Internet ruins everything.
He leaves... I was just going to say he hooks up with a former New Warrior for a road trip kind of deal. And hopefully there's a book in that, and hopefully it involves the words Christos Gate. Make it so. But good.
Green Lantern New Guardians #2.
Lots of rings.
Oh, it's so good.
So many rings.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's Tony Bedard, it's Kyle, and everyone knows I'm a huge Kyle fan, so I'm going to like it regardless. But last page, me and Jared were talking about this should have happened in Blackest Night.
It's what we expected to happen in Blackest Night.
It only took a year and a half later, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Multi-chromatic lantern.
Yeah, Tyler Kirkham
Rainbow
and
Lantern.
I think Harvey. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but
I
know it was switched art because it was switched art. One of them did half, the other one did the other. So I think Kirkham was going to be on
really
this,
good.
but it's good.
This is Tony Bedard at his best.
Yeah, Tony Bedard, thank you for making Kyle
so
cool.
good.
It's fine. I read Blackhawks. I thought the first issue was pretty interesting. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about continuing to read it, but the second issue got really, really good. There's apparently whole terror cells that use nanites to upgrade themselves, and those are the main villains that the Blackhawks are fighting, trying to keep people from augmenting themselves and just running amok with superpowers.
Terrorist 2.0.
Pretty good idea. They're an anti-terrorist squad. Lady Blackhawk does make an appearance in this, although it's a new version of her, not the one from the 40s. It was cool. If you read the last issue, one of the characters got infected with the nanites, and anyone on the team carrying these things around is obviously a no-no, since that's exactly what they're trying to stop from happening. So
A no-no?
it's a no-no.
They're a no-no with the nanites.
Yeah, basically.
No.
Some interesting dynamics happening within the team.
All right, so next one's yours. Teen Titans #2. Okay, I'm not following Superboy. I don't care about Superboy, so I feel like I'm missing something here. The rest of the story was really good, especially since it's the only Tim Drake story.
You want crap?
I liked it.
You stupid.
It's not awful.
All right.
I'm just saying, it's not as bad.
You're done.
Nope, it's not as bad as
Yes, it is.
Joe Kelly's run. Not as bad as Joe Kelly's run. Argue that one.
No.
There you go.
But no, these characters. Yeah, no, he's right. But but it's not like there's a giant quantum leap between.
Oh no, it's not the best thing in the world.
It's.
JT Kroll should write this instead of Green Arrow.
He should. Oh, I don't know why they. JT Kroll was writing really good stuff. This I'm not. It's no. You said it's the only Tim Drake book, but I said this last time. Lobdell has literally strip mined anything out of these characters that made them. It's like when someone the complaint people make when someone adapts a book or a comic into a movie and then they change the whole concept and you're like, so why bother buying the rights to this or calling it this if you're going to change everything? Red Robin, Tim Drake's Red Robin it's not Tim Drake. It's not Red Robin.
He makes fun of himself having wings though. I thought that was funny.
No, I thought that was a desperate plea for the internet hated this.
You got to make at least 3 more issues because Brian Q. Miller's taking over.
They haven't officially announced that.
It happened.
But it's why I'm on here is I'm waiting for the change.
Do War of the Independence because I need to read it because Scud's in there.
All right. He's on the cover for this one. He wasn't really in it.
I don't need to read it. I'm good.
You can wait for the next one. War of the Independence. War of the Independence. The book the internet waited for like a bajillion years. Dave Ryan writing, doing most of the art. He gets some help from a bunch of people. A lot of characters, not as much story. It starts out slow. About halfway through, I started liking it a bit more. The first part I was like, uh-oh, really? I waited a long time for this. And, maybe it was one of those things where you put up so much expectations and you have so long to wait for something. By the time you get it, there's no way it's ever going to live up to those. But about halfway through, it started kicking in. If you've been waiting for it, look into it, read it. It has little appearances by just about everybody. And then there's a copyright info. It gets its own page. Just lists everybody that's in there. This was half the fun, was going through and trying to figure out, I thought that's who that was. This was, it's worth checking out. You ready?
I didn't get a chance to read it.
What? You break
What? I know. I read 18 other books, I'm sorry.
There should have been one of them.
Gladstone School for World Conquerors. So good. So good. The good news is, since he didn't read it, he can't ruin it for you. Stuff happens in here. Some interesting stuff. The kids, they're fighting with a superhero with this ridiculously long name. Something... Say that. Shakurankai?
Yeah, you got that.
Shakurankai.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But they're fighting him, and he keeps trying. Apparently, the Skull Brothers know the deal that the superheroes and the supervillains have made, where now it's all just stage fights. None of the other kids do, and this hero guy keeps trying to tell them, and the Skull Brothers keep going, no, he's going to ruin everything, and they won't let him tell while this fight goes on, and then the fight goes, like these fights tend to do, horribly, horribly awry. And some big stuff coming up. This book is so good.
This is awesome.
Yeah. he didn't even read it. It's awesome. He just flipped through to the awesomeness.
Whoa!
I know.
That's a lot that happens.
It is. And it's so good. Just read that. Do your turtles.
Yay!
Oh, yeah,
turtles! Yay!
I like turtles.
I'm such a 3-year-old. I love Ninja Turtles. It just keeps getting better and better. And this one focused a lot on Raphael in the first half and then a lot on the rest of the Turtles in the second half. And you see who the villain is. You find out more of the origin for everyone. So hopefully by the first arc you'll have an overall view on all the origin stuff and what makes it so different. But it just continues to be great. It's Ninja Turtles. Everyone go read it. It's Ninja Turtles.
Spider Island does whatever Spider Island can.
Wait, didn't you read one of those? You read Spider-Man.
I read Spider-Man.
Did you? Alright.
So you go first.
I was a little bit confused because I didn't read the last 2 issues. I'm just going to go through and read them all at once.
So you read that one without reading the last 2?
I think so, or at least the last one. So I was a little bit lost.
I think it confirms that I was right last time I reviewed one of these as to, when they do that new Scarlet Spider series, it's not Ben Reilly, but it's damn close.
Yeah. I didn't have a problem with anything that happened in it. It did seem a little drawn out and overhyped, but...
I did actually chuckle a little bit at why it took so long for Mary Jane to get her powers.
That was good. That was fun.
Are they back together yet?
No.
Okay.
They share an interesting moment or two. I don't know, might be an allusion to something in the future.
Or just an allusion to something that happened that never happened in the past.
Or something they want to happen, but they'll never let happen.
Damn you, Marvel!
I went on my rant. They ruined a marriage. Go.
It did, unnecessarily.
Spider Island, Cloak and Dagger. It's got Cloak, it's also got Dagger.
Written by Nick Spencer.
Written by Nick Spencer.
Some people
can't
love
name 2 characters in there.
Cloak and Dagger. You can name 2 characters in a Nick Spencer book if it's the title.
Ike.
It's not the title.
Ike will be
Ike and Dagger. Coming soon. Spider-Man was good. I'm actually, I don't know, I'm beside myself. I'm equal parts intrigued by and, oh, really? There's a slight twist in Cloak and Dagger's status quo and their powers in this.
I really like the twist.
I'm intrigued by it, and I'm at the same time, part of me's going, no, why? And then part of me's going, ooh, that could be cool.
It's interesting that they'll get to explore how
and
the other one sees things.
And look, Amanda Rios draws like a Steve Ditko Spider-Man. Amanda Rios is so good. She's going to draw an issue with Spider-Man because it's going to cross over with Daredevil. Mark Waid's going to do a 1 story, and Emma Rios is doing it. It's going to be Emma Rios and Mark Waid. It's going to be so good because Emma Rios ruled. Just needed to say it.
Venom number 8. This book was weird, sort of. You could have read it without reading the rest of Spider Island as long as you read Venom. It was like the whole tie-up with him and his dad. But then at the very end, I don't know who this thing is at the end, so I was a little confused by that because I've been reading the rest of Spider
Must be the part
Island.
that happens in here.
Yeah, it's
This
exactly
thing?
what happens in it. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's the Spider Queen. Yeah, that happens in here.
Ruined it. Yeah, I don't know who she. Okay, I guess I might want to read the next Spider. Probably not. But if you've been reading Venom, just forget all the rest of the Spider Island stuff. Just pick up Venom. It's a great series. My favorite Spider-Man related book. Who did this one?
I read it.
That's your.
I read it
apparently.
You got anything?
I didn't really care for the first
got-
issue.
you
I don't know
got
why I
that
read the
nice-
second one.
I read the second one, hoping that I'm like, all right, Ethan Van Sciver is a great artist, and he's writing this.
How's he as a writer?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Did you think it was better
He's a
than the
great
first issue?
artist.
Good to know.
I suppose but not enough to. I mean, I was waiting for the Gail Simone to emerge from behind everything, kind of like
she was just doing like
kind of like the 2 Firestorms just stuck. I was waiting for Gail Simone to come out and go, and wait, I'm Gail Simone, and I will write the great. And it didn't, and
Not with it.
I am.
Who?
It's a novel.
It's another. It is It's
You
sit
get your
yourself
money
down.
worth. Yeah.
Make yourself a cup of tea.
It's worth your money.
Turn on
Oh,
some
yeah,
music.
it is.
Slide. I don't know. Slide
at
to
least
a
for-
hot bubble bit.
At least the monetary amount versus word count.
It
is
was
worth it.
Instead of apple, it's pineapple. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay,
See,
I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
that
That's fine.
because the rest of them all seem to have Q books. They all have a Q on it because they get them from
Queen Industries.
or what Q Core
See,
or
the
whatever.
thing is, Superman realizes how bad the Green
Q-Pad.
Arrow book is, so he doesn't want to support it.
Doesn't want anything to do with
It's
it.
like, now I will heat vision your arm off, bitch. But no, there's kind of at the same time, while this is the new, modern, armor-wearing Superman, the good thing about having George Perez write this is George Perez can't help but think, to use the buzzword I keep using against everything, he can't help but think iconic. His Superman still talks and thinks like Superman, not so much of the angry, down with the rich, support the little man, not that.
Not the action comics. Superman.
Yeah, not so much of that Superman. He's still Superman.
it's
And the
6 years later,
story
mellow
is
it out.
very Silver Age. You've got Superman fighting a monster that everybody else can see, but for some reason his Kryptonian eyes can't see this thing. So through cell phones and whatever, Lois and Jimmy are filming this monster and projecting him on the like the big Times Square screens. Metropolis has those. They're putting them up there, so Superman has to keep looking and going, and that's and that had a very modern spin on one of those like old silver, any of those old covers with the Great Scott, that fantastic creature. For some reason I can't see it, but everyone else can. It had that kind of feel. So it's a throwback and a modern set. It's just, I don't know. It's
a lot.
It's a lot to take in, and I still having armor issues.
Strippers.
Yes. Superman wearing too much. Voodoo does not have that problem.
Strippers.
She doesn't have to wear anything.
It's the book for Billy.
Voodoo. Interesting.
There you go.
It is. It's a lot different than the first book, the first issue, which was very sexy. She's not a stripper in this issue, although there's still some. There's still some naked, sexy parts, but she's not being a stripper in this issue.
I need strippers.
I still don't know how much I believe in this as an ongoing series. I can believe it as a maxi series.
Oh, we'll make it to like issue 10. Don't worry. That's about it.
It was really interesting. That's all I can say about this book, apparently.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sexy parts. Sexy for my comic.
See, that's Voodoo.
For my comic.
She shapeshifts. She does what she wants. And who? It's getting a little more into the. Look who shows up.
Damn it!
Yep, now you gotta read it.
Damn it!
Ha.
That's the other thing. I didn't like Robin wearing Tim Drake walking around in a Green Lantern shirt. Really?
It gets a little more into the like what her purpose is on Earth and what her plan is.
Plan is to speed up the music.
If you like the first issue, you like the second one. So that's really all I can say.
Game of Thrones, adapting the book. I love the books. I loved the TV series. I thought being able to love yet another version of it would be pushing it, and that this would somehow, do shark jump. But it didn't. This is still working. This is really good. It's a very faithful interpretation, and the art really suits. While they did a good job of neither. Of still trying to interpret the characters as they are in the book, and not just drawing. Look, here's my version of the people from the show, and at the same time, one of the hardest parts about something like that is sometimes you can see that, like you can see in people's artwork when we tried really hard not to draw them that way, but this it's like they literally just took designs based on the book, drew those, and it doesn't it looks effortless, so that's really good. Kirby Genesis is still really good. It's a lot of fun. They've got you've just got a whole bunch of Kirby characters, and they're managing to do. It's a tough line to take old school Kirby stuff and make it modern enough for people who don't know old school Kirby stuff, but not make it so modern that it stops being old school Kirby stuff, and they're doing a great job with that. You set me up. Planet of the Apes.
I figured you'd go faster this way.
Planet of the Apes. It's just really good. It's the art in this continues to be gorgeous. It is. But you guys, because it's true. And I keep doing it because I don't think people are believing me. It's Planet of the Apes. It's so good. It's so much better than a Planet of the Apes comic ever should be. And you need to read that. Legion Secret Origin, good.
You get Legion rings when you buy it.
Oh yeah.
So buy it for that reason.
Assuming your local retailer is awesome.
We can fly and translate Interlac. Live up to the symbol weirdness. Okay, I was speaking in Interlac. You didn't understand. You're not wearing a ring. This is good. It's not. We've seen a whole bunch of Legion
Lost, Legion of Superheroes.
3 Legion.
The Legion's like, they're so far in the future, they're like, please, DCU, you're getting rebooted. We've done that 3 times. Hello. This is a 4th, 5th, if you count Legion of 3 worlds combining into Legion of our world. But, so it's not just yet another telling. It's got a whole different angle. While all the stuff is happening with R.J. Brand and the original 3, Lightning Lad, a lot going on behind the scenes with Brainiac and some other stuff. So that's good. iVampire.
Surprisingly good.
Still really good. It's dark, it's moody, it's vampiric, it's
awesome Jay Lee esque.
Yeah, it's really good. Check this out. It's not what you thought it would be. Who had this one?
Is this me? Justice League Dark. I enjoyed this issue a lot more than the last issue. Is showing more of the magic wielding DC characters actually getting together and making connections to form the team that they're going to need to fight the Enchantress. And if you like any of these characters, it's going to be awesome. If you don't give it a shot, you might be surprised, like I am. I really don't know who half of them are or care.
All right.
But it's surprising me.
Stitch number 1. Wow, that's messed up.
It's messed up, but it's
Wow,
good.
yeah.
This is This is like.
This isn't as messed up as Cross, though.
This is like really cool, not indie, but not big company horror movie.
And it's not very war story, but it is war story.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's a horror story that takes
It
place
has a war backdrop.
in the war backdrop.
It's really,
yeah,
really good.
thank you.
Who drew this? Mike Wolverine. He's a good artist. I've
It's-
never heard of him
it's
before,
really
but good for him.
Yeah, cover is Mike Wolfer, photo cover. Thank you. Yeah, so good.
Which is also getting a movie made based on it, and that's
Yeah,
something else.
that's gonna be.
weeks,
I can't wait for that disc to come out after reading this, because that's gonna be good. Guarding the Globe,
Finally!
finally here,
Hey.
finally over.
I haven't read it yet because I need to reread all of them.
It was a lot of fun. It was good,
But-
and it sets up the main bad guy in this.
The best part.
Here,
What are we looking at?
do the main bad guy thing and then I'll go on my little rant.
No.
Bug!
Oh, I can't stand that thing. The main bad guy is set up to become a recurring main bad guy within the Invincible verse.
Here's the only problem, though. If you've been reading Invincible monthly, you kind of know how this ends.
I read Invincible
Took a
by
little
trades. Haha, rest of the world.
Helldorado.
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 East eats West. Really good. Not just another, Western
do
with, Western with vampire, with zombies. There's some Chinese mythology going on in the background, from Chinese migrant workers that were working on the railroad. Apparently, some of their old world demons came with them. Good stuff, gorgeous art, good story. I'm intrigued to see where the rest of this goes.
Go Godzilla.
Go Godzilla! Always a good read.
I can't keep track of these books anymore.
Oh no!
This
There
is the other
goes
one. Just
Tokyo.
This one, we've got our main, I forget if he was a cop or whatever it was. Our main guy Steve and the child he's picked up along the way, basically making their way along, trying to get away from Godzilla. And this issue, I don't know what's going to happen next, but they stumble across Mecha Godzilla that was, as we recall in this series, was built and designed in Detroit to try and bring the economy back online, and got wiped out by itself because
Was it going to stomp out the Depression?
It was, but they,
That was a Sebastian level joke. I'm ashamed of you.
I'm proud.
I kind of
Spaceman
feel like I need a
number
shower
1.
after that.
Oh, it was $1.
Dollar Comics.
Yay!
Check it out.
So
It's been $1.
It's $1. I mean, if you don't buy it for $1,
It's okay,
it's
it's Azzarello and
yeah, it's
Rizzo,
the same guys who did 100 Bullets and Batman.
and it's
and Avengers.
I'm
I
not
thought it was
really
okay.
sure what happened.
Yeah, there's an ape man doing acid.
Yeah,
That's always fun.
it's always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong
it's
with a
never
night
a
like
bad
that.
thing.
It was good enough that I'll take a look at number 2 to see if it explains to me what the hell I just read.
It's $1.
And the back has this little teaser for a Flight of Angels by Holly Black, Bill Willingham, and a couple of. This looks gorgeous, and when I read this, it was really good. That it's coming out
I
a
don't
big
think
trade.
it's $1.
That's gonna be a trade paperback. That's gonna be worth looking at.
I like how you just reviewed a preview.
I did. 'Cause it
Red
was
Wing
good.
number 4. I love this whole series. Jared asked me what happened at the end. I couldn't tell you because it was very confusing. If you read it though, you know how it ended. If that makes any sense. So
If you
Yeah,
don't read it, you don't know
I
how it
think I know what happened,
Yeah,
but they
you-
didn't explain it
you
very
can't,
well.
like, I can't go up to someone and explain the story to him. You just got to read it. So he did a really good job on that. But it was really,
Jared's been good on it.
yeah. Just I suggest
It's-
rereading the whole thing or buying the trade.
Hopefully
I think
that
the trade's
makes
out
more
like in
sense.
3 weeks, something like that. It's really close.
Fight! Incorruptible. You've got Max Damage versus Plutonian.
That's
And-
already happening, huh?
And gorgeous
It's the fight you've been waiting for.
gorgeous Marcio
Is it?
Takara artwork, but it's less than you would. It's not one of those typical and they get together and just boom slugfest. They do beat the crap out of each other, but there's more of it's more of a cerebral fight. They talk the whole time because they're just at such a stalemate, and there's a lot going on, and it sets up an interesting twist for. I know they've been soliciting that in a couple months
Why
from now
is Sam
they're going to
in
have their second round of this fight, and it's interesting the way Max gets him out of the city. Max, they have a little talk. We're not necessarily privy to everything Max says. Max has an interesting way of getting him out of the city, and we know that eventually it's going to come back and bite Max in the ass because they do have another fight set up.
I love the dialogue in this book.
Extinction Seed by GG Studios. I've been seeing this stuff in the previews, and it's been intriguing.
It's not what you think it is.
Okay, but so we need to cover that up sometime.
No.
Is it? There's an interesting spot on one chick's suit that pretty much looks like
it.
Good for her.
Looks like it, but it's
not really good. That's kind of low.
It's the false.
Low into the side.
It's the false nipple.
There it is again.
Yeah, it's like a
spot on the suit.
It's like a button, I think. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
But it's where I put one to confuse bad guys as I fight them.
It's a very sexy book.
This is the number 0. It's introducing the characters. It's a good little first peek at some of this stuff. Sets up a lot of potential for what's going to happen with some power suits, some government testing, whole lot of almost like that Danger Girl feel of chicks who are the Danger Girl, Charlie's Angels kind of hot chicks who are badass. The guy who brings them together seems to be named Sebastian, so that's always a plus.
Good for you.
I know, he's Sebastian Wright, because Sebastian always is. It's good, worth looking at. Daredevil, this book is so good. And Sebastian's always right, I just said that, so
continues to surprise.
Yeah, this book is so good. Especially, some of the concepts introduced in this guy. What's the guy called? Bruiser?
Yeah, they're being very clever.
There's a guy called Bruiser who he dresses something like a luchador with
hell yeah, luchadors.
With like NASCAR style sponsors, but all the sponsors are like AIM, Hive, Serpent Society, Hydra. I don't know who the Scorpion guys are. That's got all this stuff all over him. And he's got this list on his smartphone of fighter type, not too super powered, but fighter type superheroes that he just wants to beat the crap out of to prove that he can. He's got an interesting list. I'd like to see this guy fight Paladin. That's on his list. But yeah, he's like Daredevil. Oh, he's on my list. But it's some good stuff. Still picking up with the
blind kid.
The blind kid from the issue before. Just really good. And Mark Waid makes some very clever uses of Daredevil's power and the artwork. They incorporated very good.
Did you buy this because it had Avengers Academy on the title?
That was
cover. Sorry.
That was the Avengers Academy story in Avengers Solo was the final nail in my I have to buy it coffin. But also I read Solo Avengers, which then became Avengers Solo or Avengers Spotlight.
Yeah. Spotlight.
Went through like 6 titles, and I read that I had all of those the first time around back in the 90s. But there's a really good Hawkeye story in here. It's like Hawkeye Noir. I really did expect just to go back and see what's going on with the Avengers Academy story. But the Hawkeye story was a lot better. Jen Van Meter wrote it, I believe, and a lot better than I expected it to be. And yeah, the art's nice. The story's good. It's got me hooked. I want to see where it goes. It's like a Hawkeye mystery, and the Avengers Academy picks up where the regular Avengers Academy left off, and they're moving into their new headquarters. I won't tell you. And they're kind of setting that up, but it also explains very well why. Here's a hint and a half. All the solicits said, Avengers Academy versus West Coast Avengers. What? But now it makes sense as to why such a thing would come to pass.
Alright, so that was our giant week in reviews.
Sorry that went so long.
There were a lot of really good books, though, so we can't really complain about it.
Or books that we just had to tell you how
bad they were. You can always complain.
Yeah,
if you want to complain, feel free to post somewhere on here. We like posts.
There should be a little thing.
If you disagree with any of our reviews, feel free to let us know. If you're just mad that Jared came back, post away.
He'll be here one more week, and then he's gone. He's doing another review show. He's better than us now.
He's going to review video games.
I know. We don't have a name for that, but we plug it, so... Thank you. Bye.